LeBron James delivered a stark assessment of the Los Angeles Lakers following Monday's defeat against the defending NBA champion Oklahoma City Thunder at Crypto.com Arena. The veteran superstar held nothing back when comparing his team to the reigning champions after the close contest ended in disappointment for the home crowd. Leave your like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any updates. The Thunder arrived in Los Angeles without two of their biggest stars, as NBA MVP candidates Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and Luka Dončić sat out due to injuries. Despite playing without these key contributors, Oklahoma City demonstrated exactly why they captured last season's championship title. The Lakers kept the game competitive throughout most of the contest and nearly engineered a comeback victory in the final minutes, but ultimately fell short against the superior execution of the defending champions. James confronted the reality of the situation head-on during his post-game media session. When asked to evaluate the Lakers in comparison to Oklahoma City, the four-time NBA champion offered a brutally honest perspective that cut straight to the core issue plaguing his squad. The 22-year veteran made it abundantly clear that Los Angeles currently operates at a different competitive level than the league's elite franchises. You want me to compare us to them? That's a championship team right there. We're not, James stated without hesitation after the Thunder secured the victory. We can't sustain energy and effort for 48 minutes, and they can. That's why they won a championship. The blunt assessment highlighted a fundamental difference in consistency between the two organizations, with the Lakers struggling to maintain the intensity required to compete with the NBA's best teams over a full game. The statement from James carries significant weight given his extensive championship pedigree and deep understanding of what separates good teams from great ones. His comments reflect frustration with the Lakers' inability to match the sustained excellence demonstrated by title contenders throughout the Western Conference. While Los Angeles boasts undeniable talent with superstar flair, the gap between potential and execution remains substantial. Under head coach J.J. Redick, the Lakers currently hold a record of 32-19 this season, positioning them fifth in the highly competitive Western Conference standings. While this represents respectable performance by most standards, it places them well behind the elite tier occupied by the Thunder, San Antonio Spurs, and Denver Nuggets. The Lakers remain a solid team capable of defeating most opponents on any given night, but they lack the championship caliber consistency that defines the conference's top contenders. The organization appears to be adopting a long-term perspective focused on building around Dončić rather than pursuing immediate championship aspirations. This strategic direction likely excludes James from future plans beyond the conclusion of the current campaign. The veteran forward's contract situation and recent injury history suggest his time in purple and gold may be drawing to a close. James missed the first 14 games of the season while recovering from sciatica, a back condition that limited his availability during a crucial early stretch. Austin Reeves also spent significant time sidelined with a calf strain that kept him out for 19 consecutive games. Now Dončić finds himself dealing with a hamstring injury that will sideline him for at least a third straight game when the Lakers face Victor Wembanyama and the Spurs on Tuesday. All signs increasingly point toward James playing out his final games with the Lakers before departing Los Angeles through NBA free agency this summer. The Cleveland Cavaliers have emerged as the most frequently mentioned potential destination, with stars Donovan Mitchell and James Harden reportedly interested in recruiting James for a third stint with the franchise where he won a championship in 2016. The Golden State Warriors may also pursue the future Hall of Famer if he chooses to extend his playing career for another season. With 30 regular season games remaining, the Lakers will attempt to play their best basketball heading into the postseason tournament scheduled for April. However, concerns about defensive consistency and struggles against elite opponents threaten to undermine J.J. Redick's squad when facing the conference's top teams. The Lakers have demonstrated vulnerability in maintaining effort and execution across full games, particularly against championship caliber opposition. Anything remains possible during the final stretch of the regular season, potentially positioning the Lakers as a dangerous postseason opponent if they can address their consistency issues. The team's immediate priority involves getting Dončić healthy for the crucial final months of the campaign, as his hamstring injury represents a significant concern that could derail any playoff aspirations if not properly managed. James's candid comments serve as a reality check for a franchise with championship expectations but current championship level performance gaps. The assessment underscores the distance between the Lakers' present capabilities and the sustained excellence required to compete for an NBA title in today's highly competitive league environment. The Los Angeles Lakers received encouraging news regarding Luka Dončić's recovery from a hamstring injury that has sidelined the superstar guard for multiple games. According to reports from ESPN's Dave McMenamin, Dončić is making faster progress than initially anticipated and could return to action sooner than expected, potentially as early as Thursday's highly anticipated game against his former team, the Dallas Mavericks. Throughout the current campaign, the Lakers have navigated numerous injury challenges that have severely disrupted roster continuity and on-court chemistry. LeBron James missed the season's first 14 games while dealing with sciatica, a painful back condition that significantly impacted the team's early season performance and playoff positioning. Austin Reeves sat out 19 consecutive games with a calf strain that robbed the Lakers of one of their most important playmakers and secondary ball handlers during a critical stretch of the schedule when wins were desperately needed. Now Dončić finds himself managing a hamstring injury that will keep him out of Tuesday's high-profile matchup against Victor Wembanyama and the visiting San Antonio Spurs. The game marks the third consecutive absence for the talented guard, who has become an absolute cornerstone of the Lakers' offensive system since joining the franchise through a blockbuster trade earlier this season. Despite the disappointing setback, medical staff and team officials remain genuinely optimistic about his recovery trajectory and timeline for return. Hamstring injuries typically require extremely cautious management due to their frustrating tendency to linger and potentially worsen if players return to action prematurely without proper healing. The Lakers organization fully understands the delicate balance between getting their star player back on the court quickly and ensuring complete recovery to prevent re-aggravation that could sideline him for weeks or even months. Medical staff has implemented a comprehensive progressive rehabilitation program specifically designed to safely restore Dončić's explosiveness, lateral quickness, and cutting ability. Sources close to the situation indicate that Dončić participated in extensive running activities on Monday, representing a significant milestone in his recovery process that suggests meaningful progress. The next critical step involves an intensive 5-on-5 practice session with full contact scheduled for Tuesday afternoon, which will provide medical staff with valuable information about his readiness to return to game action. Team officials will closely monitor how Dončić responds to the increased workload before making decisions about his availability. The timing of Thursday's game against Dallas adds considerable emotional dimension to Dončić's potential return to competitive action. The matchup represents a rare opportunity for the guard to face his former franchise in what would be a highly anticipated and emotionally charged homecoming of sorts for the Slovenian superstar. Dončić has expressed strong personal desire to participate in the contest and showcase his abilities against his old teammates, though medical staff will ultimately determine whether he can safely compete without risking further injury. Beyond Thursday's reunion game, Dončić holds serious aspirations of participating in Sunday's NBA All-Star Game at the Intuit Dome in Los Angeles. The prestigious midseason event represents recognition of his outstanding performance throughout this season and provides an important platform for the league's elite players to showcase their talents on basketball's biggest stage. Dončić's inclusion on the international squad alongside superstars like Nikola Jokic, Victor Wembanyama, and Karl Anthony Towns would highlight his deserved status among the NBA's best performers. However, participation in the All-Star Game remains contingent upon his hamstring showing sufficient improvement to allow full participation without significant risk. Team officials will carefully weigh the benefits of All-Star participation against the potential downside of re-aggravating the injury during what is essentially an exhibition game with no playoff implications. Meanwhile, LeBron James faces his own serious availability concerns for Tuesday's crucial game against the Spurs. The veteran forward was ruled out along with Dončić, Reeves managing his ongoing calf injury, and Marcus Smart nursing troublesome ankle soreness. James's absence marks his 18th missed game during the current campaign, carrying significant implications beyond just Tuesday's contest. The league's strict requirement that players appear in at least 65 regular season games to qualify for major NBA awards means James can no longer reach that threshold this season. His historically impressive streak of 21 consecutive All-NBA selections will end as a direct result of insufficient games played. The unfortunate situation represents a disappointing conclusion to one of professional basketball's most remarkable individual consistency achievements. Dončić's games played total has become a growing concern for Lakers management. Tuesday's absence represents his 10th missed game of the season, raising serious questions about whether he can reach the required 65-game threshold for All-NBA consideration and MVP candidacy. Many respected analysts currently view the MVP race as essentially a three-player competition featuring Dončić, reigning winner Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and three-time recipient Nikola Jokic. The international roster for Sunday's All-Star Game includes an impressive collection of global basketball talent. Alongside Dončić, the team features Jokic, Wembanyama, Towns, Deni Avdija, Pascal Siakam, Jamal Murray, and Alperen Sengun, representing the best international players. Lakers head coach J.J. Redick must skillfully navigate the challenging situation of managing player health while maintaining competitive performance and playoff positioning. The organization's experienced medical staff takes a deliberately conservative approach to hamstring injuries, fully understanding that rushing players back prematurely often leads to extended absences later in the critical playoff push. The Los Angeles Lakers made a strategic roster decision by signing guard Kobe Bufkin to a 2-year contract, filling their final roster spot. The move surprised many observers who anticipated the Lakers would pursue established veterans from the buyout market to bolster their playoff push. Head coach J.J. Redick provided detailed insight into the decision during media availability ahead of Monday's game against the Oklahoma City Thunder. His comments revealed a thoughtful approach that prioritized player development over quick fixes from the buyout market. The Lakers had been connected to guard Cam Thomas and forward Haywood Highsmith in buyout speculation. Thomas, formerly of the Brooklyn Nets, ultimately signed with Milwaukee. Highsmith, previously with Miami, represented another option before the Lakers chose Bufkin. The decision reflected Redick's philosophy about roster construction and skepticism regarding buyout market additions. Redick addressed the buyout market with characteristic candor. His experience as both player and media analyst informed his perspective on the realistic value such acquisitions provide to contending teams. The first-year head coach challenged conventional wisdom about late-season roster additions. There's a lot of factors that go into that, Redick explained. The buyout market, I'll just be frank, because I did this when I was working in media, it very rarely produces a player that impacts a team's playoff chances. It just very rarely does. His assessment reflects observation of buyout market trends and their actual postseason impact. Redick elaborated on additional complications with buyout candidates beyond limited playoff impact. Health concerns represent significant considerations when evaluating players released late in the season. Many buyout candidates have dealt with injuries or inactivity, raising questions about immediate readiness. The second part is you gotta make sure that guy's healthy, that guy's ready to play. Redick continued, Kobe has certainly earned a spot in the NBA with the way he's played this year for us in South Bay. There's also factors of are we going to be able to keep him in our program? The decision represents calculated investment in a young player who impressed with the South Bay Lakers. His dominant G League performance caught attention of coaching staff and front office personnel who closely monitor developmental games throughout the season. Bufkin posted spectacular statistical production demonstrating NBA readiness. He averaged 26.7 points per game while adding 4.0 rebounds and 4.4 assists, showing well-rounded offensive capabilities beyond pure scoring. His 1.3 steals per game reflected improving defensive engagement. Most impressive were Bufkin's shooting percentages, demonstrating NBA caliber efficiency. He converted 51.8% of field goal attempts, including outstanding 43.1% from three-point range. His 89.8% free throw shooting indicated excellent touch and mechanics that should translate upward. Redick specifically highlighted the significant defensive improvements Bufkin has made under South Bay head coach Zach Guthrie's guidance. Development staff worked extensively and deliberately on defensive fundamentals and maintaining consistent engagement throughout entire possessions, successfully addressing what had been considered a potential weakness in his overall game. I think the thing that Zach Guthrie has really challenged him on this year and he's gotten better on is just his defensive activity and engagement, Redick said with conviction. I think he's got the positional size to be a plus defender, and obviously his ability to shoot the ball consistently, particularly on our team, would provide great value. The Lakers desperately need additional perimeter shooting to complement their core players and create better floor spacing. Bufkin's demonstrated three-point shooting addresses a critical roster need that has plagued the Lakers throughout portions of the season. His impressive efficiency from beyond the arc suggests he can provide valuable floor spacing when called upon in game situations. Bufkin's positional size gives him important versatility to defend multiple perimeter positions, which aligns perfectly with modern NBA defensive schemes that require extensive switching capabilities. His improving defensive engagement combined with his natural physical tools creates genuine optimism about his potential impact on that end of the floor. The Lakers coaching staff believes he can develop into a reliable two-way contributor who impacts both ends. The 2-year contract structure provides the Lakers with cost-controlled access to a developing player while simultaneously giving Bufkin security and meaningful opportunity to establish himself at the NBA level. The deal allows both parties needed flexibility while demonstrating clear organizational commitment to his continued development and growth. Bufkin will have genuine opportunities to earn consistent rotation minutes throughout the season. Redick expressed complete satisfaction with the decision and strong confidence in Bufkin's ability to contribute. So there's a lot that went into it. We feel really happy that we got him on the roster, he stated definitively. The signing represents an effective blend of addressing immediate roster needs and maintaining long-term organizational planning priorities. The Lakers head into the crucial final stretch with their complete 15-man roster now intact. Bufkin provides valuable backcourt depth while bringing youth athleticism and elite shooting ability that could prove extremely valuable during the intense playoff push. His dominant G League performance suggests genuine readiness to make immediate positive impact when given opportunities.